All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next on Double Take Sports Talk with the Watch Brothers, we'll have your Quiz-mania question of the day. And we'll have Double Take Sports Court with the answer to Double Take Sports. Amazing. And the predictions and then our final thoughts. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Double Take Sports Talk is next.
From Indianapolis, Indiana, this is the Double Take Sports Talk show with the Watch Brothers. And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, your hosts, Gerald and Darren Watts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Double Take Sports Talk with the Watts Brothers. Welcome to our podcast with me, Darren Watts. Say hello to Darren Watts II. What's going on? D-Dub.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast, Darren Watts. What's going on, man? What's happening?
No deal. New day. New day,
Yeah.
new start. Halfway through the day.
New day.
New start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So, Darren, we have Quiz-mania, question of the day, and then we have our Double Take Sports Court predictions for tonight's games. Quiz-mania answer with the final thoughts. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Quiz-mania, question of the day. Darrell, when you're good ready, the floor is yours.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Quiz-mania. Now, of course, from yesterday's episode, it's going to be the same thing today. It's just going to be more of an opinionated type of question. No right or wrong answers. This is going to be straight out thoughts and opinions. And this one right here, this might be a pretty interesting one for me and Darren as we duke this one out. So here's the question. Of the NBA playoff games, or NBA playoff series so far, which of the series has been the most conspiracy? Yeah, so pretty much like, foul, turn the favor, rigged, stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, harbor on that. Think about it. Anybody that's watching this the video podcast, of course, you can always head over to our social media sites of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can hit us up on those sites. Let us know what you think using the hashtag Quiz-mania, and let us know what you think.
Absolutely.
So, ladies and gentlemen, of course, that's your Quiz-mania. We'll give you our thoughts later on in this podcast. So now we're going to switch this one over to Double Take Sports Court. So, Darren, whenever you're getting ready, the floor is yours, man.
All right. So let's first, before we get into the main ordeal that we wanted to talk about, let's take a look at some other games around. As you know, if you listen to the audio podcast, the Houston Rockets took out the Minnesota Timberwolves 122-104. Just a quick statistical standpoint of this, James Harden with 24 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. He definitely made some defensive efforts.
Yeah, he made it. Yes, he did.
Clint Capella with 26 points, 15 rebounds, and 1 assist, and actually had 1 block.
Wow.
Now,
Impressive.
on the Minnesota side, Karl Anthony Towns with 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists, and 1 block. Jeff Teague with 17 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. And Andrew Wiggins, 14 points, 4 rebounds. Daryl, did you expect this series to end so soon? Or did you expect it to end in a sweep, or did you expect it to go extended?
I I expected it to really extend. I really expected to really go into what did they win? 4 games to 1?
Yes, 4 games. Yeah.
See, I expected to really go into 6. That's what I really expected it to go into
The
6.
Minnesota looked like they had something going on there. Was it game 3? I think it was game 3.
I think it was game 3.
Yeah, it looked like they had something going on. Like
with that with that 20 point blowout or something like that. Is that the game you're talking about?
Yeah, game 3.
Yep, game 3. That was the 20-point blowout. You would have thought that at least they would have turned it because they shut down James Harden. But guess who came on fire? Chris Paul.
Yep.
Chris Paul. He pretty much dominated the game. He dominated. It scored both. I think he finished with what 27 or something of the sort.
Game number 3 finished with 17 points. James
17
Harden.
points.
He had 29 points. Oh, and he did resume his role. I didn't even know he resumed his role as a shooting guard.
Yes. When Chris Paul came in, that moved James Harden back to shooting guard.
He's really actually a pretty good point guard.
He is a good point guard.
He's a very good point guard.
But I think he's more of a shooter.
He is a shooter. But he's a really good point guard. I was very impressed with what he was doing as the point guard.
Yeah.
Before Chris Paul came
Absolutely.
To go. I was very impressed.
But that looked like
be my point guard any time of the day.
I just think that sometimes it could probably it wouldn't be in the point of it'd be too much for him to handle, which it really wasn't. But at the same time, it's just like with the Pelicans. You need that extra lift. You need that, you need that load off your shoulders, you know what I'm saying, to split up the ordeal. And I think this is pretty much the situation here with James Harden and Chris Paul.
I got to be real with you. They could have done better without Chris Paul. I'm just being honest. Could have done better without Chris Paul. I really do. I really think that they could have been able to play better ball because James Harden can presume 2 positions, and that's both the 1 and the 2. He could be able to do both, point guard and shooting guard. If he can't drive it into the paint and pass the ball out, he'll step out on you using a Euro step and shoot the ball. He can do it all. I do not think they needed Chris Paul.
Okay. So
I think Chris Paul was just extra. He's just extra stuff just lingering around just in case. They don't need Chris Paul.
Okay. So let me ask you this then. How do you think that last year's season, James Harden was that point guard? How do you think they fared off? Because they got knocked out I think they got knocked out in the first round. So how do you think this could be better compared to this year's Rockets with Chris Paul in the district?
To me, it was like growing pains with Victor Oladipo. That was his first time.
Victor Oladipo?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Rockets, man.
I know this. I said that it is like growing pains that Victor Oladipo is going through in the playoffs. James Harden has his first playoff as a point guard. That was growing pains for him as a point guard. He had something to learn from that position because he controlled the game. He didn't control the game this year. He controlled the game last year. And that was his first time doing it. So it was growing pains, just like how Victor Oladipo is going through with the Indiana Pacers and his growing pains. James Harden knows his role better this year. So they are able to mix it up, and Chris Paul has playoff experience controlling the game. So it does make it easier. But in my God honest opinion, they still don't need Chris Paul. They still don't need him. They don't have to have him. But yeah, that's an extra addition. Absolutely. But they don't have to have him. They don't have to have Chris Paul. James Harden can do that all by himself. I have the full 100% confidence that he can.
Okay. I'm just going to be real with you when I say this. I think adding Chris Paul with James Harden was point guard. I say that because even though I agree with you when you say this is growing pains for James Harden, at the same time, he is still learning, still playing the 1 and the 2. When Chris Paul's to the bench, guess who's the number 1? James Harden. He's still learning, but it's in a part-time responsibility. He's still learning from his pain from when he was actually a full-time point guard before they got Chris Paul. And with Chris Paul to his side, he can still learn a little bit about – it's not even so much of him learning. It's not so much of him learning. It's always a lot to learn, but he can use that as more of a mentor, kind of like in an aspect to where that if he do actually end up getting part-time, if he actually do go to another team somewhere near in the future, he would be better. He could be able to handle himself a lot more better coming down in the point guard crunch time. That's just me in my personal opinion, that the Rockets are – well, James Harden is better now than when he was above full-time point guard. Mm-hmm. That's just me, honestly.
I'll take that. I definitely will take that. In the meantime, that's
just me, man. Sorry, that's just me.
That's fine. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. You can have that one. We'll switch it over, and we'll talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder win, the 107-99 win against the Utah Jazz.
Jesus Christ.
3-2. Real quick, Paul George had 34 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Carmelo Anthony did not show up for the game. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and no blocks. And Russell Westbrook, he actually finished with 45 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. And on the Utah Jazz's side, Joe English finished with 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Derek Favors been very quiet with 10 points, 5 rebounds, and a block. Rudy Gobert the same way, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Donovan Mitchell with 23 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Ricky Rubio, 10 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, no steals, and no blocks. And the only contributor off the bench came Jay Crowder, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Do Oklahoma have it in them to win 3 straight? Wait, 2 straight. They already won 1. Mm-hmm. Do they have it in them to win 2 more straight?
I can't see it. No.
Do you see this game going in? Do you see this series going into 7?
That is, well, I can't see it. I really can't. I just think that I had to think about it for a minute because thinking about.
Well, let's
OKC.
Let's go. Quick. Let's go back real quick and let's just take a look at the series and how it unraveled. Game 1, Oklahoma City won 160-108. They was at home, and then Utah stole 1 from them with a 102-95 win in Game 2. Game 3, Utah won at home 115-102. And then the Utah Jazz won again at home 113-96. And that's what Oklahoma came in and won Game 5 on their home floor 107-99.
Okay. Obviously, it's not about home court because Thunder stole 1 on the road and Jazz stole 1 on the road. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. Okay, you're right. No, the Thunder have not. They won all at home. Okay, so that makes it even better.
They still lost 1 at home.
Well, what I mean is all the wins came from home, not on the road.
Yeah, got it.
And, of course, they lost 1 at home, too. So here's my thing with this. I personally believe that the only way that OKC can come back into this series and actually turn it into 7-game series is they score. They constantly score. Now, they came back from 25 points last night. 25 points. They came back from 25 points, and they held on to the lead, and they stuck to it. Utah, in my personal opinion, got off rhythm last night, and the reason why they got collapsed when that 25-point deficit, they just got off rhythm. Yeah. And everything just started clicking on all cylinders with OKC. It started clicking on all cylinders. Not only were they at home, it just worked. It just worked. Now they have to go to Utah and play a very tough game. Was it 6?
Yep, game 6. 8:30.
They have to play a very critical game 6 on the road to Utah. That is going to be tough because the Thunder have not taken a game on the road to the Jazz. That's going to be tough. They will have to start off strong and score. Even if that means that they had to attack like they did. A mixture, I should say. There was a mixture last night of attacking and scoring on the perimeter, because that was the only way they could really came back into this game. If they wanted to attack and get to the free throw line.
They went the traditional, far more the way that it's supposed to be, NBA type of style. Attack first, then go outside. Attack first, then go outside. Don't start outside, then go inside. That's how you mess things up. Attack first, and then you go outside. When they start double teaming, triple teaming, you kick back out. That's the traditional NBA style way of playing basketball. That's what's called.
And that's how the Jazz started off.
Fundamentals.
Yeah. And that's exactly how the Jazz started off in the first half. Yep. That's exactly how they started off in the first half. That old traditional basketball. They seen mismatches, they seen double teams, and they took advantage of extra passes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, that's something to really keep our eye out on for the Utah Jazz.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for the Jazz to close it out in 6.
Me too.
And then lastly but not least, a game that a lot of Pacer fans are looking at as a conspiracy theory. The Cleveland Cavaliers pulled off with a 3-point win in Game 5 in Cleveland, 98-95. Quick statistical standpoint, starting off with Cleveland. LeBron James with 44 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, a steal, and a block. Kevin Love, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist. That's it. And then Kyle Korver, 19.6 rebounds and a steal. Who is this? I think this is, J.R. Smith. No points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. And Jose Calderon, 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals. And nobody from the bench scored like that, less than 10 points. Pacers bench on the other half was just phenomenal. Starting off with Bojan Bogdanovic with 11 points, a rebound, 3 assists, and a steal. Thaddeus Young, 16.6 rebounds and assists. Miles Turner, 8 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Victor Oladipo, 12 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Lance Stevenson, 12 points, 4 assists. And Domantas Sabonis, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. He was really big coming off the bench. Really big.
Really big, absolutely. Did he lead all scores?
Huh?
For the Pacers?
Say that again.
Did he lead all scores for the Pacers? Did he lead all scores with the Pacers?
Yes, he did.
And he's a bench person.
Yep.
Okay.
The Pacers led as many as 10. Cleveland led as many as 12. Pacers had their wounds in this game too. They let leads slip. Then Cleveland let it slip when it counted the most. I said it once, and I'm going to say it again. They cannot keep letting leads slip like that late in the fourth quarter. They let the Pacers come back again. If they figure it out, Game 6 is over. if they figure it out game 6. I'm not holding the Pacers for that. But there was a lot of woos in this game. Now, real quick with you. Have to get your opinion on this. A lot of people probably going to hate me. Did you believe that was a block in the final seconds of that game?
That was a go-to.
I disagree.
That was a go-to.
I disagree. Victor Oladipo didn't even have the ball out of his hand before he could even get the layup in. I don't see that as a go-to. The one thing that makes me mad.
Well, here's what makes me mad. That should have been reviewed. That should have been reviewed.
Well, here's my thing. It never should have happened. They had too much time left on the clock. Why are you attacking it like if you're down 2? Y'all was tied. That game could have went into overtime. LeBron James probably would have survived another 5 minutes on that court. 44 points. Are you kidding me?
He was gassed. Yeah, he was gassed.
There was no way in the world he would have survived that. That game should have went into overtime. I would have made LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers' entire team play an extra 5 minutes. I would have held the ball and put that into overtime. That's exactly what I would have done. That game should have not have even been 4 quarters. That should have been 5. And then coming down here to Indianapolis for game 6. Do you not know that was the perfect strategy that they could have put out there? Let that game go into game 6 with a tie like that, playing late, and then having to come down here and get ready. Yeah, that would have wore them out. But then everybody else
it would have mainly – it would have really worn out LeBron James more than anybody because Pacers was even-handed. Everybody was scoring. Everybody was putting in some type of production.
The fatigue
LeBron James
apart.
Yeah. Everybody was scoring. The bench, starters, they were scoring.
That game should have went into overtime. They should have held the ball and said, you know what? We'll have a fresh 5 minutes. Let's do it that way. That's my personal opinion.
I agree to that.
Even if they had decided to go ahead and go for that shot, if Victor Oladipo would have slammed that ball in just like Patrick Ewing should have did in the 95 playoffs, game 1 against the Pacers. If he would have done that, that would have either 1, guaranteed a shot, or 2, guaranteed an and 1. Would have been no different with Victor Oladipo. That would have either 1, guaranteed a shot, or 2, an and 1. One of the two would have happened. He shouldn't have laid it up. One of the two would have happened. He shouldn't have, because LeBron James wasn't going to reach up for that. Are you kidding me? No, he wasn't going to reach up for that. He'll reach up for a layup. Don't do that against a chase down artist. Make that fool pay for it by slamming it in. 2 hands, not 1. I'm just saying.
You would have been looking for contact then if it was a 2 hand. You'd have been looking for contact.
And that's exactly what he
that could have. He would have gotten it. Well, I just find it funny that when Miles Turner, when he did his fair share of dunking the ball, LeBron James didn't want no part of it.
Because Miles Turner is bigger.
That layup, but he's taller.
He's bigger and taller. He's taller and bigger.
Oh, I thought LeBron weighed more than him. That's what I thought.
Not that I know of. Hang on, let me find out.
Oh.
You go ahead with your point. Go ahead. I'll let you know in a second.
But he wanted no part of it. Now you can understand that because of some last point, because Miles Turner is taller, and I don't think he'd be able to. He would have to get him coming to a layup, chase down artist, like you said, and that to me was a breaking point. And I don't think Victor Oladipo should have gotten the ball anyway when it came down to those closing seconds. I believe Miles Turner should have gotten the ball. He should have been in the game, got the ball.
I don't know why
if they chose to score.
Yeah. I don't know why they keep putting big men out like that. I don't understand. Miles Turner.
I don't understand.
Besides Rick Smits, Miles Turner is right next to Rick Smits when it comes down to a pick and popper for the Pacers. He's the next guy in line.
Yeah. He's the next guy in line.
Yeah. I mean, why would you? Kill that time all the way to 0 seconds. Don't give them the chance. It's just like with the Tony Dungy era of football with the Indianapolis Colts. You don't give Peyton Manning the football in the last minutes of the game. You just don't do nothing like that. You don't do that. You don't do that. Miles Turner weighs 255. LeBron James weighed 250.
Yeah, 5'5" is bigger, so
He's bigger. He could have just slammed on LeBron James. He already tried to once before. LeBron James wanted no part of it, and that's exactly what it is. He wasn't gonna make a play on that. Why?
Pick on somebody your own size.
Kevin Love wasn't gonna take no part of it.
Well, of course not. Don't look. I'm sorry. They fear the Pacers. That's just how I feel about it. And even though they have to play ball, but there is some kind of intimidation there that some things they just really just don't want no part of. Because the Pacers, they gonna go all in. They going all in. Rather if you're LeBron James, rather if you're Kevin Love, rather if you're J.R. Smith, rather if you are Arvydas Sabonis. You know, make no difference. They're all in. They're gonna try to protect the paint as much as possible, but I just don't understand why you cannot stop LeBron James when he's the only scorer. Wouldn't that be the easiest strategy? Get the ball out of his hands. Kyle Korver was shooting half well. J.R. Smith didn't score anything. Kevin Love barely shot. Wouldn't it be easier to get the ball out of LeBron James' hand? What do you think New Orleans did against Portland? They got the ball out of Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum's hands. Let's do the same thing here.
Here's the
problem. Get the ball out of his hands.
Here's the problem. When he does get the ball, he attacks. This is where this issue comes in. Bojan Bogdanovic had 3 fouls. Miles Turner had 5. Thaddeus Young had 5 fouls. Vidal Oladipo had 2. Derek Collison didn't have any because he didn't even try to even take an attempt at the paint. Lance Stevenson had 5. Domantas Sabonis had 2. Corey Joseph didn't have none because he didn't even try to take an attempt at the paint either. And Trevor Booker had 2. 22 total personal fouls. That's the issue. Now, I always say, if you're going to keep the ball out of his hands, do it from beyond the arc. Do it to a point where you have to intercept the pass, anticipate a pass coming to
you. Well, LeBron James was bringing the ball up court majority of the game. That could have stopped right there.
How?
That could have stopped right there.
How?
Double team, do something. Like I said, Kyle Korver wasn't hardly shooting well. He only finished with 19 points. J.R. Smith didn't score anything. They ice cold.
So you would rather take a chance of double teaming LeBron James and giving it to somebody that could possibly get hot? I wouldn't do that.
Take a risk. That's a risk. Yes, take that risk.
Hell no. Can't do
you
that.
Take that risk. Pacers was already down 7 at that point. When they started taking the ball out of LeBron James' hands, guess what happened? They came back.
They did.
They came back.
But Kyle Korver was still shooting threes. Kevin Love was still shooting threes.
That's the risk you take. That is the risk you take. They still came back.
I wouldn't be comfortable with that, but they still ended up losing the game anyway because of the simple fact that they let the ball back in LeBron James' hands. I just wouldn't be comfortable with that. Not with Kyle Korver and Kevin Love. You give shooters that touch, it's over. It's over. Can't give shooters their touch. I wouldn't even want them to give it. You have to earn that. You have to earn it. LeBron James have to earn it. If you want a double team, I commend you, but I'm not all for that double team.
I see. That's risky. You just have to take when you play the game.
That's fine, but not in the playoffs. I can't do that. Season, I could do that all day, but not in the playoffs. So going into real quickly, we'll take a look at the preview for tonight's game, and that's the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. We have picked the Milwaukee Bucks, the home team, to win this game. You see this definitely going into 7.
It's going into 7, definitely.
Take a look at the series real quick. You had the Boston Celtics winning game 1 and 2. Game 1, 113 to 107. Then Boston won game 2, 120 to 106. Milwaukee's won game 3 and 4. Game 3, 116 to 92. And game 4, 104 to 102. Game 5, Boston won 92 to 87. And then game 6 is tonight at 8. Darrell, what are you looking for in this game?
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Definitely.
I expect him to go off.
I do too. I would love to see that happen.
Absolutely. I agree.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Double Take Sports Court.
Predictions. Darren, when you're getting ready, the floor is yours.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will not be using the 2K app for predictions, so we're just going to run through this one game, plain and simple. I already know.
I'm sorry.
I think I already know who we're going to pick, but we got one game tonight that's going to be Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Eastern Conference first round. And that game kicks off at 8 o'clock, and it's the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. Durham, who you having this game?
On court, yeah, the Bucks.
Definitely, I agree. I got the Milwaukee Bucks in this game also. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There are the predictions for this one game for April 26, 2018.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, had a chance. We got to talking about a lot of other things. It's time for Quiz-mania answer. Of course, we've been talking about the NBA playoffs for the majority of this podcast. So, we'll continue with this. Here, before we get to it, I'm just going to repeat this question. The NBA playoff games played playoff series so far, which of the series has been the most in conspiracies?
I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. I really don't. I do not have an answer for that. I really don't. I do not have an answer for that.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything to be of that type of conspiracy theory. I just have not seen anything.
For one thing, the Jazz and the Thunder, I personally think, has been, in my personal opinion, conspiracy. Cavs and Pacers are another one, and Golden State and San Antonio. That's another one.
Whether because they want a rematch of the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, so yeah, I could definitely understand that.
Well, no, in that case, absolutely, I agree to that too. But I still personally think that with the Golden State San Antonio game, I believe that game should have been a 7-game series.
Well, I mean, everybody's hearts was heavy when Aaron passed away, so I think
right.
I can't say it would be a conspiracy theory. I think that was just wrong timing. I really do. I just think that with the Pop's pass and everybody was far more focused on that than anything else. That I honestly can't think that would be a conspiracy theory. I just think.
Well, Golden State did a good job taking advantage of it.
Well, I just think that it just worked in Golden State's favor and the NBA's favor. That's what I do think, however. But I don't think it was a conspiracy theory at all.
Yeah, it was a conspiracy. I think that should have went into 7. That should have went to 7.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Should have went to 7. Yeah. So, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Quiz-mania answer for today's date. The 24th, 25th. I forgot today's date.
26.
That is your Quiz-mania for April 26, 2018.
That's something you've been reading from April 26 all podcast long. You one time.
Well, because the date is behind the monitor on the actual monitor, and I don't have it up on my phone either, so I don't have the date nowhere. So, yeah.
Wow. There you have it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
There you have it, folks. That's done. All right. Final thoughts. There, you got anything for us?
I don't think so. No, I do not have anything.
Yeah, that's about right. I don't have anything either. We said a lot of what we wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
Double Take Sports Court.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, of course, if there's nothing else, we can wrap this baby on up and get on out of
Absolutely.
here. All righty, that is another edition of Double Take Sports Talk. If you like what you see, of course, you give this video a thumbs up. How you feel about today's show? You just comment on the comment section as usual. Of course, we're on the social media sites of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can just hit us up there. You can ask us anything you want. Doesn't matter. Don't have to be sports related. Like, if we like it, we're going to probably share it on the air on our recording. And we're also on iTunes. Download our episodes there. But until then, I'm Gerald. There's on the opposite side.
Yep.
All right, catch up with us on another episode of Double Take Sports Talk. Until then, ciao. Double Take Sports Talk here with me, Gerald Watts. Now, there's an understatement that always goes, that has always been true from day one when sports decided to come out, is that it can be very unpredictable. And of course, that's always been the statement, that's always been so true. And depending on how you look at it, it can be very unpredictable. But with Double Take Sports Talk, we just throw some entertainment in there. Even if we don't get predictions right or theories don't come out right, we always just throw a little entertainment into the mix. So why not just have a little fun with it? That's how predicting can be so fun if you make an entertainment out of it. But other than that, of course, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But anyway, we're on social media around the globe here. We're on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can hit us up on our fan page at the Watch Brothers. You can hit us up on Twitter at DTST2414. And of course, you can hit us up on Instagram, Double Take Sports Talk. So, YouTube, subscribe. You can share. You can do all the good stuff. Do anything that you like. We're just trying to grow a podcast here, folks. We're also on the iTunes. You can download our episodes there. We're on the video, of course, and we're on the audio portion too. So either way that you can enjoy this podcast, you can do it audio, we do it on video. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the podcast. And until then, ciao.